So this is me doing a voiceover of Liftoff. So I recorded it using OSB. So I just like screen recorded what I was doing. Wasn't thinking anything other than like, oh, let me record it and I could look at it down the line, however much later, and be like, oh, hey, look how much better I got. Um, but I want to start making YouTube videos and share the kind of journey and process. It's a great hobby. It it's not an easy hobby. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to unpack, if you will. But just do it in little bits. So this is Liftoff. I got it through Steam. Um, and it's on my PC, so it's not like PlayStation or Xbox or anything. I don't know if they have anything like that. They might. Also, I'm using a actual radio transmitter that you would use on a normal drone or helicopter or RC plane, whatever. Use them for drones as well. I tried it with the just a game controller, like normally you would play for Call of Duty, and yeah, no, that definitely sucked. I don't advise anybody to do that. Um, so I went and got an RC controller. I can't remember how much I spent on it. It couldn't have been too terribly expensive for me, $100 or so, and so it finally came in, and this is the first time with an actual controller that I'm gonna use the simulator. It's not easy to get the hang of this. Like, you're gonna crash. It doesn't matter. It's gonna happen. There are professional pilots and racing drone pilots that crash all the time. Um, but it's fun. Like, it's definitely fun, and a simulator is going to. It's like it's almost needed. Like, unless you got tons and tons and tons of money and you could just keep smashing and bashing apart quads, a simulator is where it's at. Even guys or gals who've been doing it for a while, when there's a new trick they want to test out, they'll get the hang of it first in the simulator. It's not an exact replica, like the gravity is a little off. In real life, the drone falls to the ground way faster. Um, but it gives you an idea, like, okay, I need to enter it this way, or I need to set up the trick this way. So a simulator really comes in handy, and it was the first one. I've seen a lot of people recommend it. It was easy to find on Steam. Wasn't super expensive. I think it was like $20 or $25, something like that. And so for like $150, here we are. I've blown $150 hanging out at a bar on a Friday night. Like, so okay, I can invest that little bit of money to see if I like this hobby or not. And here we are. And now, so this is not first person view. This is line of sight, and it's just trying to teach you about the I guess the mechanics, or how the controls work left and right. And so the way the game goes is they'll demonstrate it for you, and so you can see what you're supposed to make the drone do, and then you go and do it. It gets a little annoying hitting the next and the next and the next, especially when you're flying and you're doing something, and then you'll see down the line, they're like, oh, hit next. It's just in this beginning part, and I forget how many parts there are, but it's not many. When I sat down to do what I'm doing right now, what we're watching, I did. This whole recording is over 2 hours long. I'm not going to make a YouTube video 2 hours long. Nobody will sit and watch that. So I'll probably make a few parts of it. And the learning part isn't 2. Well, I guess I was learning the whole time, but like the lesson part isn't the whole 2 hours. I think it took me 45 minutes to an hour to get through the lesson part, and then I was kind of just flying around on my own for another hour, and it was super fun. And so I'm gonna break it up into a few parts, part 1, part 2, however many parts, and kind of make them more bite-sized 20-30 minute videos, as opposed to just one 2 hour stretch. 2 hours and 18 minutes, I think. And then, so if you notice on the bottom of the screen, those little like crosshairs, but they're like dashed, those are the controls that you're using on your radio, or your transmitter, radio transmitter, your controller, basically. The left side controls your throttle, so up and down, just like that. And if you went left to right, the quad, see right there, it's yawing left, Y-A-W, yaw. And then we'll go towards the right. It's a little hard to keep your position. At least it was for me, especially at the beginning. You saw how it was like bouncing up and down. So as you're going yaw to left and right, you have to keep the drone in position. It's not that easy. I keep hitting the bottom. The gravity in the simulators, I've only done. Well, I tried the DRL simulator, but I didn't get past the learning part. I didn't really like it. But I've done Velocidrome, a little over 20 hours, and a little over 20 hours in this one, which is Liftoff. And then I've actually flown a drone, 5-inch freestyle drone in real life, and they fall a lot faster in real life. Like and then also you could bounce off a lot more things in the simulator. Like you could kind of nick things, and the drone will stay upright. In real life, you're going for a ride. So every time it said like retry next exercise, that's basically you know, if you say no, you're moving along to the next exercise, and there's so many of them. I don't remember exactly what the count is, but right now it's in level mode, and it's not FPV. It's line of sight, so you can see the drone. It does get into. This is the only time that I've noticed in the video game, or the simulator rather, excuse me, that you can do line of sight. Every other time it's in FPV mode, and it's also in acro mode. So right now it's in level mode, so basically it won't go upside down. You can only roll so much, pitch forward and backwards so much. And so this is the only time it does it that I know of. There might be a way or a setting to keep it in level mode. I just never did that, so I don't know about it. I've gone back and I've tried this again, and it's still difficult. I don't know, the way I guess the settings are, how they allow you to control the drone. It is limiting a little bit, but again, they're just trying to get you used or understanding the basic fundamentals: left and right, right and left. And when we move to the next, what the fuck happened? Is it still recording? That's so weird. Okay, so the power people, they're putting in new poles and stuff. I seen them along the main road. There's a tornado not too far from here back in May, and like the screen, everything just went blank, like the power went out. But it's still recording, but it stopped recording. I don't know. Whatever. Now I gotta edit this out. Maybe I'll just leave it in there. Fuck it. Okay, so you saw it just said it's still in level mode. So and what I didn't like, you're gonna see like so right now it's doing the demonstration. So I'm not controlling anything. It's just showing you what you need to do. But when you actually do it, those little next things will come up as you're trying to fly, and I've found them just to be a little bit annoying. But again, this is the only time it does it. It's just the first couple of the little bit lessons that it has in the beginning, and then you don't have to worry about that again. And it's not like all just lessons. It, hey, this is kind of your introductory, and then the way you learn is you just fly. You pick a map. They got racing courses, so you'll go through gates like that right there on the screen. That's the gate. And you have to make different turns, and they have harder levels and more beginner friendly levels. You can just do freestyle and kind of just fly around and do whatever you want. It's a good simulator. I like it. I like the graphics. Like, it's really detailed. The other simulator I've done is Velocidrone. It's not as detailed, but I think the gravity is more realistic. It's not 100% like in real life, but I think the gravity and the weight of the quad is more realistic in Velocidrone compared to Liftoff. It's a little bit more. Gravity isn't as heavy in Liftoff as it is in Velocidrone. That's just the way I feel about it. Some other people like Liftoff better. It's just really what you like. It's learning the muscle movements of your fingers and what you need to do. That will translate when you get out and actually fly in real life. Yeah, see, so I was already flying, then I had to hit the next and then continue flying. I just found that a little bit of annoying. Like, you already showed me the demonstration. Let me just go do it. I know it's coming, or, put it there without having to hit next or something. But again, it's just this little section where you're learning. It's just in the beginning. And I do figure out a way to change the speed and altimeter. It's in meters and kilometers. I do put them in freedom units eventually. Anyone who's not American watching this, freedom units is inches and miles per hour, because we'll count bears before we go to the Mexican. How fast was this? About as fast as 3 bears. This one really jacks me up. That first, where that wall is, and then the gates above the wall. There's like 5 minutes of me trying to get through through that one gate. It's coming up. So right now, it's gonna be the computer or the simulator demonstrating right now what we're doing or what it's supposed to do, and you still have to hit next through it, which is why it makes no sense to me when I have the controls. Why are you hitting? Why am I hitting next? You know, like I'm flying already. Let me just fly. I'm a peacock, cat. You gotta let me fly. All right, I think this is where, yeah, it's gonna mess me up. That wall just really messes me up. Bam. And being so close, you would think I'd just go up and in it. Yeah, I wound up all the way by the bleachers. It's just crazy. Now, I am in acro mode, but it just felt so weird to me. Also, FPV mode, right? So we don't see the drone anymore. I don't even think I make it through. I think I crash and it resets me. Oh, this is so bad. Not, not that I'm like some great pilot now or whatever, but this is terrible. I'm sorry for making like the two people who watch this. No, I'm not. That's a lie. That's a complete bold-faced lie. I'm not sorry at all. Oh, this is terrible. I'm like scraping the drone on the grass. The good thing it's not a uh, real drone. If you have ADHD like me and you think after 10 hours in the simulator you're good to go, you're not. You're not. I wasn't. Was not. I think I got mad and I just kind of send it now and make it to the end. So after we get through here, I'm gonna cut the video and that'll be part one, and then we move into like full out maneuvers, figure eights, and all kinds of stuff, and that's a whole nother crazy ride. Again, the first time I played this simulator, I sat here for 2 hours playing this, and I'm just gonna break it up in different chunks. An hour of it was actual lessons, and then the other hour I was just learning, having fun, and flying through a hayfield with round hay bales, and it was great. I went underneath the fence. I thought I was the hottest thing since canned cheese. Boom, did it. No, don't retry the exercise. I do have more footage coming out. I do have more videos coming out. It will actually be FPV footage. Um, but I also broke. I broke the. You'll see it. It's coming.